So what a great ending to phase one. Marvel did it right and fans were stoked. They were amazed. How could you take so many iconic characters and put them into one movie and give them all enough screen time and amazing lines and funny Avengers was amazing. And then phase two comes out. Phase 2 starts off with our beloved Iron Man, Tony Stark, in his Iron Man 3 movie. Now, a lot of people thought that there were some decisions that were made in this film that maybe shouldn't have been made, but you know what? Marvel has got it right all of the other times, so we're just going to let them slide on that one. From there, we get our second standalone Thor movie, which is called The Dark World, which starts bringing in more and more people from outer space. It has the dark elves, these different types of things. And we also start seeing more and more of these different powers. We see the Tesseract in Avengers. We have this red little gem liquidy type thingy in Thor the Dark World. And we start realizing that Marvel is again building towards something. We're not quite sure what it is yet, but they are building towards something. As we continue on here, the next movie is Captain America's next movie, which is called The Winter Soldier, which brings back people like Bucky and has this great unveil that is such an amazing idea that Marvel had done in the comics a long time ago when they brought back Captain's best buddy Bucky as the Winter Soldier. And so this whole storyline is based around some of that reconnection of Cap's past with now some of the people that are going to be part of his future as well. After the Winter Soldier movie, we finally get our first look at worlds and things that happen in the space around Earth. And we get the Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, again, you would not think that Marvel could do something so right by taking all of these iconic characters like they did in the Avengers and shoving them into one film. And that's exactly what they did with Guardians of the Galaxy. Star-Lord, which is played by Chris Pratt, does an amazing job of bringing all of these different characters together and having kind of this ragtag group of kind of like vigilantes where they're going to end up saving the world. A couple different worlds, actually. And not only with that, but we see more of this idea of these powerful artifacts or stones, these what we'll call the Infinity Stones later, coming into play into these different movies. So we see this build up. From here, we have our next Avengers movie. So you have a huge Guardians of the Galaxy movie into a huge Avengers movie. And I was super excited about this one because it's Avengers Age of Ultron, which means that Ultron is going to come into play. Now, they did change it up a little bit from the comics of who actually created Ultron and how that was made, but this is the MCU. It's not going to be exactly like the comics. You can either like that or you don't have to, and sorry if you don't, because Marvel has done great. We get Ultron out of here, we get Vision out of here, and we also get the Scarlet Witch, and we get Quicksilver in here as well. And so we have all of these different multiple characters now that are coming into play. Throughout phase 2, we also get a little bit of a sprinkle of Thanos in here as well, where we see him in multiple different places. So again, this idea of building up to something greater. All of these different puppets like Loki and some of the other bad guys from these films have been being controlled by a puppet master who pretty much is Thanos. And then to end up phase 2, which a lot of people thought was kind of crazy after this big Avengers movie, they bring in Ant-Man. And it's played by Paul Rudd, and it's actually the Lang version of Ant-Man as opposed to the Hank Pym version of Ant-Man, although Hank Pym's in there, and so is his granddaughter, and there's just all of these different pieces and decisions and ideas that Marvel decided to do that, again, I think is great because of the way that they ordered them in the little pieces from the other movies that you see that are thrown in and sprinkled throughout. And that ends phase 2.